Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me, well, I feel like we've gone back to the 1970s with empty supermarket shelves and empty petrol tanks. Thankfully, our news reserves are filled to capacity. So, without further ado, let's roll that intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Monday, the 27th of September, and as that ever-present guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, it's the end of an era as the Stewartby's Final Four stacks fall. JCB is in the black despite COVID. Lehnhoff bridges the gap, and we'll be joined by Rob Oliver of the CEA to discuss Futureworx, so called possibly because the present apparently doesn't. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating their birthdays on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And like a bat out of hell, it's many happy returns to the mighty and magnificent Meatloaf, to full-time politician and part-time mathematician Diane Abbott, to author Irvine Welsh, and to actress Gwyneth Paltrow. Will her birthday cake be adorned with her vagina-scented candles? We may never know. And it's happy birthday also to enigmatic footballer Francesco Totti. Many happy returns to them, one and all. At the height of production, the site of the Stewartby brickworks near Bedford was home to 167 massive chimneys. Yesterday morning, the final four were felled during a controlled explosive event watched by hundreds of locals. Let's take a look. Those four remaining chimneys have been demolished ahead of a construction project that will build around 1,000 new homes and a business park on the site. JCB remained profitable in 2020 despite the severe impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on its global manufacturing operations, the company has announced today. Last year, sales turnover fell to £3.1 billion compared to £4.2 billion in the previous year. Meanwhile, machine sales decreased to 74,590 compared to 92,216 in 2019. JCB CEO Graham McDonald said in March 2020, £1 billion worth of orders disappeared overnight with the onset of COVID-19, and JCB was forced to close its 21 manufacturing plants around the world for around 2 months. Despite the severe impact on its business, JCB remained profitable in 2020 as it has done for the past 76 years. The turnaround in 2021 has been dramatic. We are sitting here now in September with 4 times the usual order book we had in normal times 2 or 3 years ago. As a result, we are ramping up production to levels we have not had before. I've never seen anything like it in my life. JCB Chairman Lord Bamford is typically pragmatic. The past is the past, he says, and while 2020 was undoubtedly one of the most difficult years in our history, our focus is now very firmly on the future. We continue to lead the way in zero emissions technology, particularly with the development of the construction equipment industry's first internal combustion engine powered by hydrogen, which is already being tested in JCB machines. This is a great British breakthrough, and we will be producing these engines by the end of next year. You have just heard how a major British manufacturer is focusing upon technology, and they're not alone. If you're watching on Friday, you will recall that we brought you the news of a brand new construction sector exhibition that is scheduled to take place at the end of March next year. That show is called Futureworx, and it is the brainchild of Rob Oliver, outgoing CEO of the Construction Equipment Association. And I'm delighted to say that Rob is currently waiting in the green room. So let's get him on the show to find out more. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Mark. How are you today?
Yeah, all fit and well, and we'll come to the reasons I'm fit and well in just a second. But most people use their retirement to potter around in the garden or to work on their golf handicap. You've decided to launch a new exhibition. So, for the uninitiated, what exactly is Futureworx?
Yeah, I was pottering around the garden just now trying to get to my home office and got very wet, so you might see me a little bit dripping. As some people will know, there's a separate company associated with CECA called the Construction Equipment Events Limited, and it's that company that's responsible for plant works and anything in and around plant works. So and it's not just my idea, but it's kind of an idea that's come from the industry, is that we're scheduling an event, and I call it an event rather than an exhibition, actually, because I think we're going to have a mixture of demonstrations, presentations, conference, awards dinner to get people together, because I'm very keen on people getting together again, really, after the last couple of years. So it's really trying to showcase the best coming technology. It's not about what we have today and what is widely adopted today in terms of technology, because there's lots of good new things. We're kind of asking the question, what's next? And so that's the whole idea of the event. It's going to be at East of England, at Peterborough, where we hold the plant workshop.
It feels like the perfect time for an event of this kind. Technology has been a real focus for the industry this past few years. And we're also in the midst, I guess, of a major shift in our choice of fuel too. So what can people expect from the show? Will there be plant and equipment, or is this going to be just a lot of computer terminals?
No, it's going to be a mix. So it's hardware and software. And the sort of challenges that we've got, we all know about the debate about future fuels. And so we'll offer a forum and a platform for that, and also some of the technology around that. There's also a lot going on in terms of autonomous and connected plants, so we'll offer a showcase for that. And also the whole area of sustainability and also productivity, which people kind of forget about now, but we're still all about productivity because we're trying to make our construction sites more and more efficient as we go forward, with the sort of pressures that we have maybe in the issues in the labour market and issues around trying to make the whole construction sector a little bit more profitable right the way down the supply chain.
You've mentioned the word there, sustainability, and you're running this show in partnership with the Supply Chain Sustainability School. What's the thinking behind that?
Yes, I mean, usually, Mark, if anything with the type of school in, I'd run a mile away from after my earlier experiences. But when I learned more about what the Supply Chain Sustainability School were doing, I thought we're actually a perfect fit in working together. So we've had some good discussions with James Cadman there, and they're fully behind the event, because those of you not familiar with the school, they offer a platform for training around sustainability issues. They have excellent support. They have several thousand members, but excellent support from their partners, and their partners are companies like major contractors, major projects like the HS2 of this world, major plant hire companies and others who are all interested about this sustainability issue. So what better partners could we have for something like Futureworx is to get on board with them and get their ideas and feedback as to how we put the thing together. So I think it's going to work really well.
Now, we've just heard how JCB is focusing upon technology, but we've also heard about the impact of COVID-19. The industry isn't out of the woods from that yet. We've got material shortage of HGV drivers, and now we even have issues with fuel availability as well. How are you seeing the state of the construction equipment market in the midst of all of this?
Well, if you look at the numbers, I mean, it's very encouraging. I think, as you touched on in your little piece about JCB, the demand has really kind of gone through the roof. None of us knew how to emerge from a pandemic because we'd never done it before. So we didn't know what the pattern of demand was going to be as we gradually got towards a little bit more normality. But what we've seen now quite consistently for the last few months is that big upsurge in demand. But you're right, and that certain issues are affecting all industries at the moment, all manufacturing industries. The car industry, as you know, has been hit pretty hard by problems with semiconductors and other supplies, as well as the general freight issues. So the construction equipment industry isn't immune to that. So there have been some issues for companies in terms of that supply chain. But looking forward, I think we can be quite optimistic because we've also seen in recent days announcements in terms of the investment going into infrastructure going forward. So that seems to be remaining fairly solid. I think things are pretty good. There may be some disruptions, continuing disruption for a little while, but the horizon certainly looks pretty bright.
So looking ahead and looking positively, where can people find out more about Futureworx?
Well, if they've got a pen and paper there, if any of you still use those things, if you just go to, just email me on thefuture@plantworx.co.uk. There'll be further information coming up on the CEA and the Plantworx websites. But this week we're actually writing to all of the current and past exhibitors at Plantworx, because I'm asking them the question, what product or services or technology will you have that's going to be appropriate to this event? Because as I said, it's not a run-of-the-mill exhibition, if you like. I think it's going to be a celebration of technology in our industry. So I'm very interested even to hear a little bit of confidential information from some of those companies about some of the things they have in the pipeline that we might be able to showcase at the end of March next year at Peterborough. So there'll be plenty of information going out there over the next few weeks.
Looking forward to it. Now, even though all our viewers in Leeds are about to switch off, I can't let you go without mentioning our mutual love of West Ham. Another great result this weekend.
That's right. So we'll move into the next 20 minutes of this broadcast to talk about Mikel Antonio. And as you probably know, my nearest Premier League football club to where I live up in North Yorkshire is Leeds. So I'll be seeking out all my friends who are Leeds supporters just to give them a briefing about what happened at the weekend with the 90th minute goal. So I'm looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Rob, it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for joining us. Very best of luck. Not that you need it. Very best of luck with Futureworx, and keep us posted as the event starts to come together.
My pleasure, Mark. Thanks very much.
Speak to you soon.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Yeah, we've just been talking about technology, and one of the greatest advances in the demolition industry in recent years has been the widespread adoption of quick coupler technology. Quick couplers from the likes of Oil Quick and Lehnhoff have literally revolutionised the way in which demolition contractors plan and approach individual contracts, allowing them to use fewer carrier machines, but with a wider variety of attachments. What I'm about to show you is a great example of precisely that. That's a terrific film, and many thanks to the team at Lehnhoff for allowing us to share it. North Lanarkshire Council has set aside £2 million Scottish pound notes, which are exactly the same as English pound notes, only deep fried, and that will fund the construction of a total of 19 new dwellings on a site at Ross Street in Coatbridge. CCG Scotland is vying for the new build, but they are going to need some help. The project calls for the partial demolition and facade retention of an existing building, and at the time of broadcast, a suitable demolition contractor has yet to be appointed. You can find out more about this project lead and many more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up today's show, although I would like to mention one or two other small things. I'm delighted to announce, and honoured to announce actually, I've been offered the opportunity to be a judge for the New Zealand Demolition and Asbestos Association Awards. Sadly, I don't actually get to be there in person, but I'm honoured to have been offered the opportunity as well. I'm hoping to chart the judging process in video format in one way or another, although obviously I won't be able to share any spoilers until after the awards in November. But watch this space. Also, it's going to be a week of CEOs. We just had CEO Rob Oliver on today's show, and we'll have the Builders Conference CEO Neil Edwards on Friday's show. Neil will be here to discuss what looks to have been yet another bumper month for the UK construction industry, so be sure to tune in then. I'll be back here again on the morrow, same time, same place, for more of this old stuff and nonsense. But until then, stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. I will jump over into the chat to see what everybody's up to in a second. But until then, have a great day, everyone, and thanks for watching.